Hi, I'm Hannah Whittingham and I am the Assistant Archivist here at Salisbury Cathedral, and I'm just going to talk you through some of the items here we have on the table which we've been able to get out which relate to the First World War and Salisbury Cathedral. So if we take a look at some of the service booklets that we have on the table first, as you can see that's the majority of the collection we have here, and they are showing us the services that would have taken place during the war. Most of them are services that would include prayers for certain people and certain services. So for example we have one here which is for the naval and military forces now engaged in war, and this is in 1914, so it's quite early on. And what's interesting here is most of these booklets, they would have been used throughout the country, so they would have been made and then distributed for all churches to use, but this one has actually been annotated. So somebody's decided that they wanted to alter the words that would be said here at Salisbury Cathedral, and they've added things in such as let us pray for the sick and wounded, the anxious and the bereaved. So we also have on the table a few photographs which relate to Salisbury and the cathedral during the First World War. We don't have many in our collection, but the few that we do are really interesting. So we have one photograph which relates to the memorial that was placed in the cathedral for the choristers who, so the men who would have been choristers at the cathedral, who then went off to fight and actually lost their lives. So they're commemorated on this tablet, which actually can still be seen in the cathedral and has been updated to also include the soldiers who lost their lives during the Second World War. So this photograph here is of the cloisters, which would have been how it looked during the First World War, and that's where you can today find the battlefield crosses, which commemorate the soldiers who lost their lives during that war. So we have on the table here a couple of the examples of some of the special licences that we have in our collection, which relate to couples who got married in the cathedral during the First World War. So a special licence was you had to go and apply to the Archbishop of Canterbury to have the permission to marry in the cathedral. It would mean that you could get married without having to have your banns of marriage read, and it would mean that you could get married anywhere, so you wouldn't have to belong to a particular parish. It also was probably because of this sense of urgency of wanting to get married whilst the soldier was on leave, at home, needing to get married quickly. So we have several items like this. The one here on the table is actually from the Archbishop of Canterbury, so it includes his seal, his pendant seal. And we've also got one here for a couple where the soldier was actually posted over here. He lived in Canada, but actually came over here and got married whilst here, and then his wife actually then went back with him after the war. So it's some of the nice human stories that you get that come out of some of the documents that we have relating to the First World War.